Hey, hi. What's up? Just drop a hi if you have joined. Hey, Kuldeep. Hey, Sahil. How are you guys? GM, GM. By the way, we are streaming this on YouTube as well as on our Kwala Discord server. So if you guys want to ask any questions, you can drop it on the YouTube chat as well as you can just join our Discord channel and unmute yourself and ask your question. So both ways it works. By the way, have you guys set up Koala yet? Kuldeep, um, because this is going to be a live building kind of session. So maybe if you got you've set up your laptop and have your Koala dashboard ready, you can just live build it along. So let me know. I'll send you guys. Hi, Vladar Dev. I think this is the first time you're joining. Great to have you here. Okay, we have a lot of new people joining today. Good to see that. Cool. Nice. By the way, today's topic is going to be um, about prediction markets. We've been doing some videos on prediction markets recently on Polymarket, but this is going to be a much more interesting one because the Premier League is on the football English Premier League, and the IPL is has just started as well. So this is really something that's related to those events happening, um, all the sports, fantasy sports that people host. And by the way, just drop a hello whoever watches IPL or any soccer league, football league, or any sport for that matter. And also if you've used Polymarket or if you've used Kwala before. Cool. I think Harsha watches football a lot. Sarthak, GM, nice to meet you. Cool. So let's kind of start with what's more like a recap of what goes on in prediction markets, poly markets especially because it's the decentralized prediction market. So what is a prediction market? It's basically you have events happening in the world, which could be anything, starting from sports to politics to memes, geopolitics, finance, some stock market crash, or anything, any kind of news. Okay, Sarthak says he has used Polymarket. Nice. And Sarthak watches IPL. Great. Which team do you support? Drop that. Um, so So people like betting on events, right? People like predicting that, okay, I support this team, or maybe I think this team is gonna win, or even something we did in the previous sessions was something like the weather markets. We were seeing markets where people were predicting the temperature of a city or rainfall. Okay, Sarthak. Oh, Sarthak supports Mumbai. Me too. I'm a big Mumbai fan. Um, so when you have you could bet on these kind of events. Then you could have finance related events like stocks, crypto markets as well. We saw the 15-minute Bitcoin market as well in Polymarket earlier. So these are some of the events that you can predict, and there are a lot more, right? So let's talk about something today. If you have seen the topic for today, it's called whitelisting, right? What's that? What's whitelisting, and why do we even need that? And how is it related to Polymarket, right? So let's say there's some game like Fantasy Premier League, which is a pretty um, popular. It's basically a fantasy league where you select players from the English Premier League, right? And then you make a team and then kind of bet on the outcome based on your team. I'm sure a lot of you might have heard about this, right? So, okay, just a minute. I think I have. Okay, cool. So, for a game like this, these kind of games do have a Discord server, right? Which which kind of is a gateway for people to come and actually participate in the game, in the fantasy league, right? So a lot of these games, not just fantasy Premier League, but a lot of other games want to gate the users, right? They prefer that just a limited number of users would first come and try out their game. This happens a lot more in crypto-based games, decentralized ones, but it also does happen in regular games that you have, like the game studios that release them. Um, I'm not a gamer per se, but I do enjoy some um, some idle games personally. I'm sure a lot of you must be into gaming, so you'd probably understand this better. Um, okay, so what they do is they want to have basically a beta version of their game and want people to try it out, but they want a select number of people to try it out, at least in the beginning when the game is new or newly launched, because obviously it's kind of prediction, so it's not like anyone can predict. Like people can make some random guesses, but it's something that they might be using money for. Uh, so it's something they want to make it a little bit more close, so that at least a few experts can try it out. So that's where the topic for today comes, um, which is like Polymarket expert predictions, right? So to do this, what we'll do is take the help of Polymarket to see who are these experts, or who are these players who we can whitelist for letting them play our game, play our beta version. So we have taken an example. Okay, the rain is okay. It's muted on Discord. Let me just quickly unmute myself. Cool. I think we should be good. Is the stream working fine? Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so to see who are the um, experts, or to just filter out people for testing out our new fantasy game that we are building, we're gonna uh, get people from Polymarket who are pretty much pros at. For our example, we'll take the example of EPL and see people who have participated in Polymarket before, and whether they can um, whether they're able to whether they're eligible for our game. So we set up some simple conditions. We basically saw okay, Harsha is saying Discord stream not visible, but it's visible on YouTube, right? People can just ask their questions on Discord. That should also be fine. Okay, so the condition we've set is basically people who have participated in any Polymarket where they have predicted the outcome of an EPL game, right? So any EPL game in the current season. I think the season started last year in August, and it will end in a month or so. So those people would be eligible for this whatever game we are building. It could be some version of fantasy football, or it could be some other game as well, maybe some other new sport that for which we have made a game. And how would we do that? That's where the NFT comes in. We'll get to that part in a while. But if to give you a gist, the first step is we'll check whoever has participated in the Polymarket anything related to EPL. For example, I have made some test bets earlier, just to try it out. So last week I kind of put out a bet on this Leeds versus Man U game, and with this wallet I actually won that bet. I predicted that Leeds would win. Okay, this is some different game. Okay, this is the game. Yeah, Leeds versus Man U, and I predicted Leeds would win, and they won. So I won some reward. And so basically we'll do this filtering. We have already done some setup in advance to make sure this works. We've actually used the Polymarket API to do this. And the next step is where the Kwala comes in. Kwala is obviously the automation platform for Web3. You can watch for events, set up some conditions, and watch for those conditions. And based on those conditions, you can do some actions, which will be done automatically. So that's where Kwala comes in, and Kwala actually helps you do this whitelisting part automatically, and it even does this even if you just set up one workflow, you will be able to track everyone who has participated in any previous game of EPL, as well as the ones who participate later. So we built something which is like a cron job basically, and it runs on Kwala. You don't need a separate server to run that cron job. It is done totally by Kwala, and then based on that condition, we check if that person was actually, they actually won some reward on Polymarket for predicting an EPL game. And based on that, we mint them an NFT. So NFT is a non-fungible token. We'll not jump into it yet. There would be too many terms otherwise. And by the way, just drop your questions on the chat, and if you want to ask some question, you can come on our Discord. I think you guys have the Discord link as well, right? Sahil can drop that. You can just unmute yourself on Discord and ask away. Cool. So this is the simple front end we made for this whitelisting flow. This is something a lot of people who manage Discord servers use for gating Discord servers, and a lot of people who build products and launch games, for example. They also have this for whitelisting certain community members for beta access to some product. So what you've done is it's a very simple interface. You just come here and connect your wallet. Let me just disconnect it to show how it looks. It just looks like this. You're able to connect your wallet here. So I'll just go ahead and collect my MetaMask. Confirm, and it says connected wallet. Status is registered. There's a pending expert check. Kwala automation runs every 15 minutes to check your trading history, and mint your badge if you qualify. GM Sachin, GM Shruti, GM from Sydney. Look up for Sky. Great to have everyone here. Okay, so you basically just connect your wallet. Let's see. Let me just connect a different wallet. This one is connected, but seems like it's registered, but it hasn't really passed any pending check yet. Or even if it has passed, it hasn't actually earned any EPL rewards on Polymarket. So let me just connect the other wallet that I own. I think it's this one. Oh, okay. Seems like this wallet has an expert status. You hold the Polymarket expert NFT. Welcome to the whitelist. Nice. So how did this happen? This looks fun. So let me go to my Polymarket interface to show you how this actually happened. If I go to my Polymarket, you'll see that there's my wallet here. I can where's my, okay, I can copy my address here. Okay, Satish says the screen is frozen on YouTube live. Is the screen frozen, guys? Let me know if the screen is okay now. Okay, Polymarket screen is visible. Cool, cool. Can you see my face as well? Okay, yeah. I'm just sharing the Polymarket screen. That's all. Cool, nice. So what we do before I jump onto Kwala, I'll just show you a quick glimpse of the Polymarket API. How this connects to what we are gonna build in Kwala just in a moment. So Polymarket creates this wallet. When you connect your MetaMask or whatever wallet, it creates a separate wallet which you can use on Polymarket. So what we have done is we have used the Polymarket API to fetch our own wallet address, like the one we connected through MetaMask, by using the Polymarket API and calling this this address. So there's some API inside Polymarket. I'd rather just share the link of the GitHub repo that we have. I'll just drop it here. So you guys can actually try this out yourself as well. We have this version deployed, so you can just follow along and open up the Kwala dashboard, and just drop your wallet addresses as well. So I'll just send you some tokens so you can build the workflow with me live. So you can just uh, try it just now. Um, cool. So where were we? We were in the in the docs. So basically, there's a Polymarket API which returns your wallet address. So we basically get our wallet address from the Polymarket API, and we have a backend server running, which is a part of this application. It's basically running in this front end Next.js server itself. So you don't really need some other paid server to do this. This code base is available in the GitHub link I shared you. So by the way, if anything is confusing, just ask me. Cool. So what happens is we inside this particular code base, which we have already hosted here. So just you can just visit this directly. Yeah, so this particular link can be called from Kwala. So what we've done here is created an API endpoint in this particular repo, in this particular, what we have hosted here, and we have created an endpoint called register. So when people connect their wallet, what happens is this register endpoint is called, and this is connected to a smart contract which we have deployed here on the testnet. I think it's this one. Yeah, and it has a function called register, and that register function is called. So I'll also show you the contract. If you take a look, here's the register contract. By the way, if you're not familiar with Solidity, it's okay. I won't go too deep into this. This is something I built really quickly with AI, so it's not like you need to be some expert to do this. It's pretty simple. Just make sure before like if you're launching a real product with real money, you should obviously audit the contract. But for now, you can just write it with AI. Okay, so the register contract basically gets your wallet, which is your MetaMask wallet that you connected, and the proxy wallet, which is the Polymarket wallet, which is here. And okay, where would be this one? Okay, and it just calls this register function, right? This register function is called from here, from this endpoint. And who hits this endpoint? This is just done when you connect your wallet, so it just hits automatically. And okay, someone is saying browser screen frozen. Guys, um is the browser screen, I think I'm not really moving it much, so just let me know if it's frozen on the YouTube. Yeah. Okay, screen looks frozen. Mm, can't see the smart contract. Can you see it now? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Nice. Um, okay, so we have registered, we just connected our wallet to register it, and then the next step is making the Kwala workflow. Okay, what Kwala does is uh, you already know, the contract already knows that okay, this person has registered on our platform, on this platform for whitelisting, and the next step would be to make sure that to first check if they have won any EPL related rewards from Polymarket earlier, or if they earn it in the future, if they earn any EPL, if they make any correct bets on EPL in Polymarket in the future, then we must make sure that they get whitelisted, even if it's in the future, right? So to do that, what we have is a Kwala cron job. This is where Kwala comes in, and this is the moment of, what do you call it? Yeah, this is the Kwala dashboard. So you can come and try it along with me. What do we have here? We have something called a new workflow, and you can connect your wallet here. I'm just gonna connect one of my wallets, and as simple as that. And for Koala credits, just DM me or just drop your wallet addresses in our Discord server. Okay, someone saying you're not able to see the dashboard. Satish, are you able to see it now? Okay, so I think the Discord stream is like the YouTube stream is a little lagging because it's going live, so there's some lag between the Discord stream and the YouTube stream. So maybe just um, watch the YouTube stream if that makes sense. Okay, Rajesh says, how can I make good profit on Polymarket? Not something I know, but I'm sure you'll be able to make some good profits by experimenting. I'm not really good at this, but uh, okay, you're saying no movement in screen in YouTube live. Okay, but are you able to see my video right on YouTube? I'm not really moving the screen much, so that's, yeah, cool, cool, nice. So um, so okay, let's just create the workflow. Why waste time? I'll just click the new workflow, and the workflow builder is here. You know what? I'll unmute myself. I'll mute myself on Discord because there's a kind of lag between the two. So I'll just make sure everyone just watches it on YouTube. You can ask your questions on Discord. Okay, let's just name the workflow, right? So let me just name it something like check EPL winners, Polymarket, and whitelist. Whitelist for some FPL game or any kind of game that you're whitelist people for. So let's just name it something like that. And the next thing is the trigger. So there are just two main things that you need to understand when building a Kwala workflow. One is the trigger, the other is the action. So trigger is some condition that you set, and whenever that condition is met, you want some action to happen. So the trigger condition could be some kind of event on the blockchain. So Ethereum has events which can be emitted like this. So this is like a user registered event here. So whenever such an event happens, you could have a workflow. Okay, screen still looks frozen. Which screen? Okay, let me just quickly try to change this. Does it work now? I just reset the capture. Maybe there was some issue earlier. Can you see the Koala dashboard now? Okay, it's showing a black screen. No, I'm not showing Polymarket now. Okay, I think you can see the, yeah, it works now. Cool. Sorry about that, but I think people can see it now. Cool. So I'll just quickly show this again. You come on to the Koala dashboard, which is on app.koala.network, and you click new workflow, and you can name the workflow something like Polymarket, FPL, whitelisting, something like that. Click next, and here are the trigger conditions that you can set. One could be at a particular timestamp you want some action to happen, or at whenever certain event happens on the blockchain, something like this event here. This is something that most blockchains have, events. So whenever an event happens, you would want some action to happen. That could be some kind of a setting, or you might want a cron job. So in our case, we would want a cron job which would run once immediately and would be repeated at a certain time interval. So I kind of set the execute immediately and repeat every time interval. So we can set some time interval like 15 minutes. And let me set the expiry date of this workflow. I'll just set some date, a later date, so that it keeps working. Cool. Nice. Okay, that was our trigger condition, which was setting a cron job. And then comes the action. So the action in our case, if you see, is to call the endpoint here. So our endpoint is post endpoint API / check expertise. So it's basically on this link. It's a post API. It's on this particular endpoint. You can even hit this endpoint from your terminal or something like Postman, which is used to do post requests. I'm sure people who have done web dev would know about post requests, but if you don't know, it doesn't matter. Don't need to get into that. Just know that post request is something which is used to hit some server. So we have a server here which is deployed on with the front end itself. And what this endpoint does is basically, again, it uses the Polymarket API to see the historical rewards that this particular this particular wallet has earned, and if they have earned any rewards from predicting an events on a EPL game, then they're gonna win the then they're gonna be whitelisted for a game, right? And to whitelist, we want to mint an NFT to them. So we'll mint an NFT to the wallet they have used. So in my case, it's this wallet or the other wallet. I actually have used this wallet as well on Polymarket, but I didn't win any EPL reward here. So I'll just use the other wallet here, which for which I kind of connected it, and I had won this particular outcome. So I got the NFT for this as well. So let's finish our workflow. So here the action could be a post request. So we are basically hitting this endpoint. So we'll just paste that address here. So our address is this. Okay. So let me just paste this. This is our full API endpoint. Cool. My screen is working fine, I hope now. It's not frozen, right? So let's name this action something like tech expertise. Something like this. And what do you want in the payload? So let's see what we had here. In our payload, we kind of let me check what I had done earlier. So I had created this workflow earlier, and okay, we don't have a payload here. We don't really need to put any payload because we already have the list of users that have registered on this platform on our smart contract. So when someone registers, their address, their wallet address, their Polymarket address, everything gets stored in our contract in this not just one but multiple mappings like EOA to proxy. EOA is the normal wallet, and proxy is their Polymarket wallet. So those two are different wallets. So we basically store them in our contract so that they can see, so that it can be used later on when we are making these calls from Kwala. By the way, any questions, just drop your questions here or ask on Discord. Okay, so we have all the users that have registered on the platform, and we can even see if they are an expert or not. So we have created this mapping called is expert, which will just mark a user as an expert, yes or no. Cool. So what happens when this endpoint is hit? Behind the scenes, it will use the Polymarket's APIs. It's obviously documented here, but it's a very simple endpoint that we kind of call from this app that we have made. So, and that's called in turn by Kwala. So let's just quickly finish this. We'll just click create workflow. Then the next step is compile, save, and it will pop up your wallet. So this is where you'll need Kwala credits. So just drop your addresses. We'll send you Kwala credits to try this out. And once it's saved, you click deploy. And okay, there's some issue. Oh, I think I connected the wrong wallet. Okay, this should be fine. Okay, now it's deploying. Cool. So it is basically deployed, and if you want to see what is happening behind the scenes, you can come back to the dashboard and see the successful or failed actions. So in our case, it would be a successful action, and it's, if you see this, it called this, and this workflow which we had, it was the same thing that I created just now. We had created it earlier, and it's called check EPL expertise. It has this action, it's the same that we created just now. So and action completed successfully. So it runs every 15 minutes, and what it does, it hits this endpoint here that we pasted um, in this part in our action. It hits this endpoint, and behind the scenes, inside this endpoint, it's going to call the Polymarket API, and it's going to parse the history, check for EPL win predictions past, or whenever this cron job runs, which is every 15 minutes. And whenever that happens, behind the scenes, inside this particular endpoint, we call the smart contracts mint function. So there's something called a mint expert function that we have in this contract. This contract is actually a pretty standard contract in the Web3 world, which is an NFT contract, which is an ERC 721. So you can get this anywhere. It's a very probably the second most popular contract after a normal ERC20 token. We made just a few modifications in this, but otherwise it's the same thing that you get. So the mint expert basically mints an NFT to the wallet address that was connected here, in case Kwala sees that they have won some EPL bet. So if you see that this wallet doesn't actually have any kind of rewards yet, because it didn't win any EPL rewards. But if I connect the other wallet, you see it has this expert status. And if I just come onto the Explorer and see this wallet, this is the same wallet here, by the way, it's this one, I'll see in the tokens I have this ERC721 token, which is the Polymarket expert token. And how is this useful to the people building this whatever FPL game that they want? It's basically gonna be used. The NFT would be used to get access to the game's Discord page, Discord server, some private channel inside Discord, or if the game is web based, so they could just have the game on this link itself. So instead of this, they would be shown, okay, now you're verified, you're an expert, so you can start playing here. So we haven't built the game here, obviously. It's something that you guys would be building in your app, and we handle all the back end headache for you. You don't need to write these scripts to check for experts or check for parsing all these Polymarket data, which is not easy, by the way. You can try doing it, but then there's just so much of overhead to make those API requests and listen to the events on Polymarket. So it gets really hard, and you won't be able to focus on building your real thing, which is your game or your product that you're building. So this is not just for a game, but any other product, like a DeFi product that you might be building, or okay, let me yeah, you can see it, right? Cool. I'm on the expert whitelisting page, so I'm not really showing anything else now. Yeah, so it just makes life super simple for people building products in Web3. You won't need to handle the infra and the glue code part, and you could even set up a notification for this. So let me just do that for you. Um, so here we have this one action. Let me just create another action here. Okay, so once this is run, after this I want to have another action. By the way, an action could also be a smart contract call, so this is something you can do. Other than that, we could do something like calling the Discord server or a Telegram um, API to send a message on some channel or just DM people. So there's a Telegram example here on our Kwala docs already, and there's also Discord example. So I'll share both of those with you. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, so this is the Telegram example. So it's basically uh, you set your Telegram address, Telegram API URL here, which would be something like, okay, which wallet is this? I'm connecting the wrong wallet. Okay, cool. So add action, and here I would put the Telegram address, Telegram URL, so which looks something like this. And in the API payload, I would put my chat ID here and some message. So in this case, you have been whitelisted. Start playing the game. You could just customize your message, pass some other parameters from the previous step as well. We have actually covered this in our past video, so do check that out as well. Do check out our YouTube channel. But yeah, you could customize this message, pass on some parameters here, like you could pass on your address or some numbers as well. And these two actions could be run sequentially because you'd want this one to be done before sending the notification. So you could do something like this. And by the way, this notification would be sent only to the people who have been whitelisted. So maybe send it to the public group or to just one person. So we might just add them to one particular group and just send the message there. So that could be done. Yeah, I think that's pretty much how you would go about doing a whitelisting kind of a use case, which is one of the which is something like really popular in crypto. Every project has whitelisting implemented, and yeah. Okay, chat. Any questions so far? Okay, cool. Sounds good. I think that's all from our end. Just drop your questions if you have any, and if you want to try out the this particular setup. So we have our uh, repository here. We have the app deployed here, so you don't need to even deploy it. You can deploy it on Versal for free, so you could do that. But it's already deployed, so you can just use this endpoint and drop your wallet addresses. Um, you can DM anyone in the team or drop it on the Discord channel itself for for getting access to the platform. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, fam.